Johnny, it's 9:34 a.m. December 9th. I'm not an investigator, I'm a victim, and was just implanted illegally, and was hearing all sorts of shit and analyzing it. People were trying to frame me. I was analyzing what they were trying to frame me for, analyzing why they were trying to teach me shit and then pull me into something. Gave me the vibe they had done this in the past and were trying to frame someone for it, acting like it was friendly. So they were trying to frame me, but didn't realize they were giving me information of their tactics. The point is, if these people did an investigation, why don't they know it was a global terrorist agenda? If they did an investigation, why didn't they know implantation was real? If they were investigators, why didn't they know telepathy was real? If they were investigators, why don't they know these neurophysiological cues are real, the frame squad is real, the neurophysiological cue manufacturing is real, the Elmer Keebler fudge shop is real? Why don't they know that firing images at the neural implant that I see in the mind's eye is real? Why don't they know all the neurophysiological cue manufacturing hustles are real? Why don't they know all the data and ideas are mine that these people have been stealing if they did an investigation and were expert investigators? Why don't they know they're my raps, my guitar songs if they're expert investigators and experts at analysis? I'm just a victim. So the reason I know this data, ideas, etc. is mine because it's my data they've been stealing. The reason I know these other things is because I have the device in my brain and was hearing all sorts of jazz. And I was implanted illegally. So that's another thing, yeah. If they're expert investigators and investigated, why don't they know I was implanted illegally and I'm the implanted guy and have the mother? If they're expert investigators and investigated, why don't they know these people have been performing betting impersonations supposedly since like 2014 or something and gambling with money and property that was mine illegally? And why didn't they know people were stealing from me since 2011 if they're expert investigators and investigated? So what's really going on? But yeah, if they're expert investigators, why don't they know it's a global terrorist agenda? Why don't they know implantation's real? Why don't they know the neurophysiological cues are real, the eye output, the things, if I do a peace sign, it appears in the mind's output, the mind output. Why don't they know the hustles with the mind output? For instance, if I think of myself, I may look like someone else, like Adam or Corbin Corona or something, according to telepathy people. Why don't they know these things if they investigated? Or if they were the implanted guy? Yeah, so a piece of this is they can fire an image from a computer and it hits the neural implant that I then see in the mind's eye, but they could fire an image of Michael Jordan, as I said in my Methods of Analysis 3. It hits the satellite and then maybe the neural implant, or it just is fired from a computer and then hits the neural implant. And then they fired Michael Jordan, but in my mind output, it'll show up as Patrick Ewing. So they do hustles like that. So why don't they know that if they're the implanted guy or if they investigate it? Why don't they all know all the frame squad tactics, the Elmer Keebler tactics, etc.? Why don't they know about the sense of well-being jazz? Why don't they know about why don't they know how many different devices are in my brain if they actually investigate it? Why don't they know they use my satellite coordinate even when I go to different rooms if they're investigators and experts at investigation and analysis? Why don't they know this programming jazz is not real? The tech is real, but it's neurophysiological torture and they're just slowly murdering people. The neural trace is real. They can try to synthesize certain feelings. They can make you laugh, kind of. They can kind of make you feel good. They try to create something called discomfort, which isn't really a psychological discomfort. It's more like being an itchy, scratchy, agitated discomfort. It's not like a mental one. And then mainly everything else just confuses you, gives you headaches. They also can do stuff to your memory and disrupt memory and processing and even short-term memory. And even they can even block retracement pathways. Maybe they block an initiation site of memory retracement, and they block it, and they can block access to various memories. So maybe they use these brain maps. Watch your brain when you retrieve certain information. They see the initiator site, and then maybe they stick a device and then block it, and then you can't retrace certain information. So that's probably what they're doing, something like that. But why don't they know that if they're expert investigators or if they're the victim of this tech? So victims of this tech would know these things. That's how I know these things, because I just make observations of what I'm a victim of. And then I make observations of stuff I was hearing via telepathy. And I never asked for a device in my brain. I just woke up hearing people laughing one day. And this was like late 2017, early 2018. I'm the med school notes guy. So these people just sat around for like all day trying to stop me from typing my med school notes. I didn't know what the hell they were doing. So that's a key piece of this. So that's how you can, but look at my letters and then see all the things they deny in my letters, and then ask them, why'd you put this in your letter if you're denying the existence of this in Houston or California or different parts of the country and world, but then you're saying this is real in Dubai. What's really going on?